Hello everyone, welcome back to day 6 of the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge with Veera, and today we are doing something really fun. This is going to be one of the quirkiest live streams we have ever done because the thing that I'm bringing to you today is a little bit different from what we usually do, but it is right under the wing of UI design, so this should be a lot of fun. And before we get started, I would like to mention some very exciting news. Actually, two very exciting news. Alright, so number one, Discord. We have finally got a Discord server. It is in the description, the first link in the description, and you can join it and we'll hang out together, have fun. All of the assets, all of the images, all of the text that we're using for these UI designs is available in the Discord. So you can find everything, absolutely everything, all updates, all images, everything related to this channel, everything related to UI design, to this challenge on Discord. And number two, for my great big news, we also have finally decided on the launch of the challenge, and this is something I was talking about yesterday. We have we have just built a portfolio just yesterday, one of the best portfolios for a UI designer ever, and really soon, in just a few days, we are doing a masterclass on how to launch that portfolio with code onto the internet. So you can give everyone a link and there you have your own very own portfolio. About that masterclass, every detail, everything, all members are going to be in the Discord group. So just click the link in the description, the first link. You'll find all files, you'll find everything, and Discord is going to be so much fun because we're going to be talking about A, launching your very own portfolio, and B, the masterclass is coming up really soon, and B, we are also having all assets, everything related to UI design, and a couple of freebies as well in the Discord group. Also, everyone, just like this video, say hi in the comments, and we can get started with the UI that we have today. This is one of the quirkiest designs yet. It is going to be so much fun because we haven't done anything like this before, but I hope it's fun in a good way. All right, now we're going to get started with our UI design. So let's go to the preview real quick. This is the UI design we're building today. On the surface of things, it just looks like a very plain UI, but you can change your sizes, and once you do that, you have something that looks like this. This specific page that you see on your screen is one of the most fabulous, fantastic pages that we've ever built, and we're going to build it live today. It has a lot of quirks, a lot of things that you'll cover, and it also has different choices of food that you can click and choose from. All of these images, including this weird long burger that does not make sense, is also found in the description in the Discord group. All right, so without further ado, today we are going to make this UI design in Figma live in front of all of y'all in the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge, day 6 with Veera. So let's begin. Okay. So the very first thing that we're going to do today is build out this complete UI, and we're going to do that in Figma. If you don't have Figma installed yet, you're going to go to Google, do the simplest thing, go and search for Figma downloads, and you will find this page, figma.com/downloads. Install your desktop app for Mac OS or desktop app for Windows, whichever you are on a system of, and we can get started with this design. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to open up Figma, click on the plus sign just next to the home icon, and you're going to click on the new design file. This is the simplest first step. After we're done with this, you're going to start by creating a frame. A frame is just a simple icon found right over here. You can also click on F on your keyboard to activate the frame option. Since this is a desktop UI, it is much wider than it is tall. You want to have 1920 by 1080 width and height of the frame. So we'll just type in 1920. You know what, let's just drag and create a frame first. The simplest first step, 1920 by 1080, and we can get started. So now that we have this out of the way, we'll give this a really simple fill. We're doing a black background today. This is going to be a lot of fun. So we've just created our frame, the very first simple step, and given it a black fill. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a title. So we'll just type out our first word, and today we are looking at a really beautiful font. It is wide, it is bold, it is one of the best, most fantastic title fonts ever. And I know I say this for almost all of the fonts I use, but that is because I only bring the best of the best fonts to this channel. You're just going to go over here and you are going to search for Reltca. 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 Okay, so this font, if you capitalize everything that you're doing with this, it brings out the most spectacular font you've ever seen. We'll just increase the size to 493, press enter, and here we have Reltca. This gives it immediately the look we were going for, the big, bright, bold UI look that we're going for. In 2 simple steps, we've already created the biggest visual aspect of this UI design. And now we are going to get started with our images. So the images, as I said, can be found in a very simple assets folder in the Discord that you can find in the link. So it's just this first simple, very simple link. You can find all our previous assets there. You can find all our future assets there. There is a Discord link in the description. Click on it, go there. And now I'm going to go to Control-Shift-K. That lets me bring in an image file, and I'm going to import my fun, fancy image, and I'm going to click on plus. This gives me my image. All of these images that you'll find in Discord are sized perfectly, so you don't have to think about resizing these images, going up and down, how thin should I make it, how thick should I make it. You don't have to worry about any of those things, because all of these images that you'll find in the assets are perfectly sized. You'll find them exactly the way they need to be. As long as your dimensions are right, you have 1920 by 1080 width and height of a frame, you will very easily be on your path towards creating the most beautiful UI designs ever. Alright, now that we have this sorted out, I want to get started with my description. You know what, before we get into description, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. This large burger, this is not supposed to be so large, but it is large. So we'll just type in the size that we have. We've got a couple of people coming in. Say hi everybody in the chat. Mention where you're from. This should be fun. And I'm going to mention large here. We'll go here. The font that we're using today is not Outfit. In fact, it is a font very similar to Outfit. Outfit is my favorite font ever, but this font is actually quite similar. I found this interestingly on Canva, because Canva has a ton of great templates, and a lot of their templates use this font instead of Outfit. So for the places that I use Outfit, they use this font, League Spartan, on Canva, and it has proven itself to be one of the most nicest, relaxed description kind of fonts, where you want to always have it somewhere in your UI design fonts list. Which reminds me, at some point really soon, like not even a long time away, like within this month, at some point, I want to have, within September that is, I want to have a full font video uploading on the channel. Which reminds me, tomorrow, after the live stream, after day 7 live stream on this channel, we will also have another video coming. So it's a full video, not one of these live streams. We'll just shift this to the side, put it right here, change the color to a shade of red. Just go here, search for the red you like. I'm just going to enter a value that I do know works, FF3D31. Alright, and now we have a nice title and a size description to go along with it. Before we end this, I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to increase the distance between each specific character. So this lets me make sure that the height is equal to the height of the first capital B. Uttam says UI design में animation कर सकते हैं क्या? Of course, Uttam, you can always animate in UI designs. In fact, today we are going to cover that as well. At the end of the stream, we're going to figure out how we can animate this. There is going to be animations today. आज animations हैं. Stick around till the end of the live stream and hopefully you'll learn a little bit about animations. Okay. We'll just make this, the height between different characters, a little bit broad. Make it fit and adjust this completely. And now we have, you can always use your arrow keys to adjust different things, and now we have a beautiful UI. You can already start to see where we're going with this, and you can already have a really good idea of what the end product is going to look like in a very few simple steps, in less than 20 minutes of starting, in less than 15 minutes of starting. We have already built out about 70 to 80% of this UI design, which I'm extremely proud of. And now we just have to build out the small details. All right. Now that we have this sorted out, let's bring this image inside of the frame, because of course it needs to be inside of the frame. And now we're going to start entering some information on this side. After we're done with this side, we can eventually shift to this side, but right now I see a lot of empty space on the left side. We'll start by editing that space out. This is going to be so much fun, you guys, because today we are using some text that is provided in the description. So we'll just copy and paste the text. I'll simply go to Windows Explorer, and in the file that you will find in the Discord, you will also have this burger text file. I'll just click on it, and now I have this text file in my notifications, and now I can see all of the text. So for example, we're building out the large UI first, so we can see all of the text that we're going to be using. We have large and burger here already. Now I'm going to build out the left side, and I have juicy, bite, burger, the first couple of words for this UI design. I'm just going to copy it and paste it right here. The size, as you can see, is really large, so we have to fix that. We'll make it white. Of course, change our text font family, in fact, to League Spartan. Again, shout out to Canva. I did not know about this font, and I started to look around into the templates of Canva, and I found this. It's quite nice. Just change the font size into something that actually looks nice. You know what, let's do 84 with this, because I want to make it small, but I also want to make it large enough. We just put it right here, change the thickness to bold, and change the line height. The line height is the height between each individual line, and usually it's set to about 100%. You can also set it in pixel values, but today I'm going with percentage values, 92.1% of line height. So it's going to relatively give you 92% of what the usual height of normal lines is. We also have an extra line over here, which I think we need to sort out. Yes, we do. And the spacing between each individual character is about 0% currently. We want to change that to 3%, not 3 pixels, 3%, enter 3%. This gives you fonts that are basically wider apart, which is nice sometimes when you want to fill up some space. And align all edges. Make sure to align every single edge. Either align it with this one or align it with that one, but make sure everything just aligns perfectly, because if things align perfectly, they automatically start to flow. All right, this is actually starting to come together really quickly, really nicely. And the next thing that we're going to do is just position it perfectly. And now we move on to the next step. We'll go to our file, which we have right here, get the description text, and we'll start to play around with it a little bit. So we'll just change the size of the font to 32, make it small, change its thickness to extra light, make it light, change its color to white, of course, because if it isn't white, you cannot read anything. Just remove this text, delete it. How many of you saw the last video that I did, the last beautiful portfolio website that we made? Let me know in the live chat. 93.2% is going to be the height that we have for this description text. Now we'll change it to 0. And now that we have this sorted out, we'll basically start adding a call to action button. So now you want a button which invites people to actually take an action on your UI design, and we're going to start doing that right this moment. We'll click on plus and type on add to cart, which is what we want our users to do. We'll also change the size of this font to 36, bring it back to bold, and make a button out of it. The simplest way, this is the simplest way to make a button. I've said this 1,000 times probably on this channel before, but this is the simplest way to make a button. Take text, frame it, add auto layout, add a fill, change the color of the fill, and make it wide. So we'll just go with 27. It's quite wide for this one. And we'll also have 19 for the top and bottom. So you see how in the text itself there is a lot of space down here at the bottom, but not a lot of space on top. To combat that issue, we'll go to the frame, go to this button. It lets you view all of the different spacings for all of the different sides, and change the padding at the bottom to 12. We'll enter, and now we have a relatively equal looking button. I also want to make this into a rounded button, a pill button, and so I will round this off to a high enough number so that it is not visible anymore. The edges are not visible anymore, and I'm going to enter it. And like that, we have got ourselves a really, really nice looking left side. Now we'll enter our right side, and sort of play around with it to get the perfect effect that we were going for. Again, this is quite quirky and this is quite simple as a UI design, so it should be fun. Just make sure everything is nice and adjusted. Sometimes you don't have these red markers in Figma going everywhere you go, in which case you just make a rectangle and align everything with the help of that rectangle. So this rectangle right now aligns with the edge of the B, and now it also aligns with the text that we have. Group our text, and just like that we have this beautiful looking UI. We are just less than 30 minutes in. It's currently 8:25. We started streaming at 8, and we are already 85% ready with this UI. I'm just going to remove this. We're going to work on this side now. This is going to be one of the most interesting aspects of this UI design. This is going to be a different kind of navigation than what you're used to. So usually there are some common kinds of navigation bars, and now we are going to do a different kind of navigation. We'll just click on T to type text, of course. Type on FOOD food for the food that we're going to be using for this one, and make the thickness bold again. We'll change the size of the font to 46, make it bigger. Again, I'm just spitballing numbers over here. You can choose your own sizes, play around with them to get a size or get a place that you're happy with. And after this, we are going to insert Control-Shift-K and insert the images that we found down in the description, in the assets, in the Discord group, and I'll fill it with all of our nice images. These are just simple images right now. We need to make containers around them. And the way we're going to do that, these are simple low resolution images. We just need to make containers around them. The way we're going to make containers around them is we are going to select all of them. In fact, you know what? Let's just select one at a time. Frame it. This is really similar to how I make buttons. Make it white. And start to increase the padding. So we'll just increase all of our padding. Make sure it's at least a proper square. Round off everything really nicely, and like that we have a simple circle. Now, since this is the one that's selected, we want to also have a stroke. So we want to show that we've selected this. The stroke has to be inside because all of the sizes have to be equal, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment. We'll change the color of the stroke to white. I'll just move around. Hold on, I'll just move around my camera so you can see this part. We'll remove our stroke, we'll add it into a nice and equal place, and now we'll just copy and paste this really nice option. Oh no, really nice option. Copy it, paste it once again. And at this point, I'm going to start replacing images. So I'm just going to enter it, drag and drop it over here, delete this image. Again, I'm going to do this same exact thing with the fries, remove this image. Now that we have these three made, we are going to take them, put them in one more auto layout. So that will just give us the space to make everything nice and even. We'll drag them to bring them to about 30, bring them close enough. And since only one of these is selected, we are going to get all of the others a fill of white. You know what? We can increase the space just so things look nice and flat. Let's increase the font size as well. It looks quite small right now. We'll increase this to a 56 or 64. Let's do 64. Bring this right under here and copy paste everything. And now we're going to go and change the size. So we'll just SIZE change this. Instead of these images that we have here now, we will bring out small, medium, large, which are the sizings of our actual objects. I'll create a text frame, type S, remove this image. And this is where it gets really important for you to change the line height. So you want the line height to be at a place where a lot of space is not available down below, which is what usually happens. You want to change that. Make the line height as big as is convenient to you. And you know what? Let's just do 0, and then we can figure it out from there. We'll go to the frame and increase our padding a whole lot. When you bring your line height to 0, you've basically collapsed everything that you're doing. And at that point, it is wise to work around with your auto layout spacing. Say hi in the chat, everyone. This is a lot of fun here today. Building these UI designs together is super amazing. This is going to be a problem that we face with text sometimes. When you make these UIs when you make these options have equal heights, sometimes at the bottom there's a lot of space left regardless of what you do. So you just open this up and make it smaller. And now you can at least visually make sure they're evenly open. We'll just adjust this, place it in a very nice place, and repeat that. So I'll just copy it, paste it a couple of times, and now we have two other options. And now I know what your concern right here is. These options and these options don't have equal sizes. I'm going to get into how we fix that in just a bit. Change the text over here to M for medium. Adjust the sizing just a little bit. Increase the size here and here. Give it 20. Give this 20 as well. And once again, I'm going to add large to the text over here. If you can't select your text because the line has basically been collapsed, always click on T and that gives you the text selected. You can work with it from that point on. And now we are going to go to the frame and adjust our width. And like that, we have finally built for ourselves a beautiful selection. But the concern that we have right now is of the fact that these options do not look equal. How do we change that? I'm going to get into it in just a bit. Let's change the color of the text to black and change the fill to white. And now I'm going to adjust the sizing just a little bit. Alright, and now we're going to address the issue that these and these don't have equal sizes. How do we fix that? We can't scale these images a lot because these images are basically taken from emojis or emoticons of the text that we're typing out, so it is not very adjustable, but text sizes can be changed. So we're going to go right here, and again this might mean we have to adjust auto layouts a little bit more, which is fine, which is completely fine. And we'll take this to about 36. That is quite small and that is quite easy on the eyes as well. We'll change the thickness to semi-bold. And now we're going to repeat that with all of our other sizes as well. So we'll just create a text style for medium and large to copy it exactly as we have it. And we'll rename it to option. And then for all of the other options, we're going to give it the exact same text style, so we don't have to repeat this all over again. This just happens in a single click. Now you're going to go to the L tab, rename it to option, scale it up, scale it down one more time. Let's bring this down to about a 30. It's still not really good, so I'm just going to bring it up to 28. Oh no, this went out of hand really quickly. Really quickly, we've just built this whole design together and it is going so quirky in its own direction. And now we're going to look into the other designs as well. But before we do that, we are going to adjust the sizing. Scale it up, scale it down. Sometimes you really need to work with auto layout spacings because it doesn't always work perfectly with text. And that's fine. As long as it looks like a perfect circle, you shouldn't usually have to worry about all of these things. All right. So now we've basically adjusted everything perfectly, and we'll just take care of the last one. Go right here, adjust the top and bottom sizing, you know what, this also needs some adjustment. I'm just going to look at what we have here. We'll just enter 34 on top. That should work out well. We'll take what's at the bottom, it's 28, and I'll also enter 28 down at the bottom, just so everything aligns perfectly, and you will see that by these lines. We're going to repeat that over here, put 28 at the bottom, 34 at the top, change the sizing of the side values. These side values, you might need to make them, you can't just copy it from your next sibling, because you sometimes S is a thin font, M is a wide font, L is even thinner, so you want to worry about adjusting them just so that they look like a perfect circle. You shouldn't usually worry about how the numbers are placed in the next sibling. Alright, and now we have our beautiful, beautiful circles. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed our first UI design page. This is quirky, this is fun, this is weird, this is bold, and you know what? This is perfect for your UI design portfolio. I think it's perfect. Like, if someone gave this to me in their portfolio, I would immediately go for them, because as long as you can think about going bold, going brave, getting out with something that is actually a good UI design, but it also has an element of humor to it, this comically large burger, I would always like such a UI design. Speaking of portfolios, just yesterday we built a beautiful portfolio, and in the coming days, really soon, we're going to have a masterclass on turning that portfolio that we made yesterday in UI designs to completely making it run live. So we have the code for it, and there's going to be a masterclass on how to adjust the code and how to adjust your UI designs so that your UI design portfolio is out on the internet, works live, is available for everyone to see. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, if you want to join in to the completely free masterclass on launching your own very own portfolio or out to the internet, join the Discord, link in the description. You'll also find the files and assets there. So the files and assets, so I've written down files and assets next to Discord. You can go to Discord, join there. You'll also find the details of the masterclass on making your own portfolio, which happens really quickly, completely for free. I'm going to change this image and bring out the medium image. This size does not work well for me, so I'm just going to adjust the size here. I'm going to give it a 13-18 width and height. Now, you know what, that's a little too large. We'll just go with this. Sometimes your image gets cropped out. You just go up here and crop your image one more time so that it is perfectly in the center. If you sense that your image is not in the center, don't wait for anyone. Bring it in the center, align it perfectly. And if you feel like your options are not in the center like me, don't wait for anyone then either. Take everything, group it together, align it with the top of your first option list, place it right here, and then you start duplicating it. So I think we duplicated a little too soon. In fact, you know what, let's just increase the size here as well. I'm being really specific and being really OCD all over it, but I am still adjusting the sizes. So we'll just this laptop hangs so much, it drives me insane sometimes. Alright, we'll just take this as well, increase the sizing in the middle to about a 7. Repeat that over here as well. It's a -7 right now. We need to bring it up to 7, increase it by 14 digits. We'll bring it up to 7, and I'm also going to take this container, put it in the center. Alright, and now we're going to do the exact same thing with our other UI design as well. So I'm just going to remove it. I'll copy and paste this beautiful quirky fun UI design. Take this image, choose an image, change this image, choose the medium image, which you can find in the description in our Discord, where you can find all of our assets, and we can also hang out there, talk about the masterclass that's coming up really, really soon on launching your own portfolio. Shift it a little bit. Crop and shift are going to be your best friends when you're working with images. And now we're going to start customizing the images that we have. So I'm going to click on caps. You know what? I chose the wrong container. I'm going to go to the large text box and click on caps lock. You want everything to be capital over here, or alternatively, in fact, I prefer this one, change your case to capital case, so then you don't have to worry about caps lock at all. Everything you type will be visible as if it is capitalized. MEDIUM is the spelling of medium. With that sorted out, I'm going to reduce the size here, because again, when you increase the size but your word is 6 alphabets long, it brings out problems along with itself. I'm going to get the size down 20 spaces. 92 is a good number. And now we're going to change the color. I want to go with red, orange and yellow here. So the large UI will have a red accent color to it. Everything right here will be red. The medium will have an orange and the small one will have yellow. I'm going to choose a nice shade of orange that I like. You can choose any color you want. It really doesn't matter, or you can just go with this one, but I like to keep things fresh. I'm going to change the color to a shade of orange that I really, really love. FF8AOO. This gives us a really nice orange that is really visible boldly on your UI design. And now we're going to change the color of our add to cart button to this exact same orange. One of the best things about Figma is that you can go right here, you can change this color, and you can find it in this on this page section right here. It's one of the best things you can find. Alright, next we are going to go to this section. Of course, we're going to change the colors of the highlights to this. And the way we're going to play this next part out is we're going to take this, give this a fill of a different color, orange, bring the fill of this one to white. Not white, black. What? Actually, yes, white. And then we're going to go to the text right here, change the color of the text to black, and change the color of this text right here. In fact, you know what? Let's just change it to white again. This auto layout needs to have some more width right here. This works. 17 works, or we can just go with 18 here. And now we have a second burger UI. Next, we are going to duplicate it, create the smallest version, the most beautiful version ever. We're going to go right here, change the image to a small burger UI image. You can find this image and all of these others in the description, in the Discord. This image is choosing to be really, really large. So you know what? I'm just going to go and click on Ctrl+Shift+K. That gives me my custom image opening option from my file explorer. And I'll just place it right here and place it right in this dead center. Make sure it is center aligned. Go to my previous image, delete it, and change the size of this one to be SMALL, small. Change the size right here to 112 and change the color as well. So as I mentioned, I want this color to be, you know what, let's just bring the spacing down a little bit. We'll bring it to about 3. Bring it up, use your arrow keys. Feel free to use your arrow keys. Always, arrow keys are your friends in Figma. And now we're going to change it to a color of yellow. I want to get the yellow from the shade of mustard that we have right here. I'm going to get my color picker option and choose a yellow that I like. In fact, if I'm not completely happy with it, I can always play around, change the color that I want. FF3D31. Oh no, that's just red. I made a mistake. I tried to have a couple of colors written down with myself just so I don't forget everything, and I made a mistake. That's nice. FFB8 00 is your friend for this one. It's a nice shade of yellow, looks really good on black, and is going to be super helpful for us in this UI design. Okay, now we're going to go right here, change the color of everything to yellow, and once we've done that, I'm going to make sure that the selected size is yellow. We'll choose this right here, change the color of this to white, and change the color of this specific part to black. Change the color of this selection to white one more time. With that, we have finally completed all of our 3 UI designs. Congratulations on building your very own quirky burger UI. I love the size of the big one here, and I also like all of these others. Now we're going to get into the best part, animating these UI designs. This is the best part that we're just now getting into. Go right here, click on frame, go to the prototype tab. The prototype tab is the best tab in Figma. Click on the interactions and choose navigate to. Then click on the next frame and go to Smart Animate. Smart Animate is always your friend in Figma animations because it lets you choose the different frames that you're going to be animating, and once one of your objects has a name that is next to really similar to the name that we have for the other one, it does some magic. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. Once you've done this, you can just go to your next frame and drag and drop it right here, and Figma is going to make sure these settings are exact replicas of the one you did right here. Always, always, always make sure to link your last screen to your first one, and with that, we are almost done. But before we start animating, we always want to make sure all of our images animate together. To do that, we will rename them in the exact same order. So they are so these two are named L1 right now, and I don't want to change that, play around with it. I'm just going to rename this to L1 as well. You can rename it to whatever you want. You can rename it to an image, but I'm just lazy right here. I'm just being completely lazy. This has nothing to do with the UI design per se. And now we are going to do the best part, see how our animation turned out. You know what? We are going to publish this UI design for all of you guys to see. Let me know how this is. Let me know if you want a few changes, more than a few changes, and we'll take all of your different ideas and suggestions from the comment section. We'll have a lot of fun with it before publishing. So your requests and your suggested changes can also be incorporated right here. Let me know in the chat. Alright, while that is happening, we'll go to the full screen mode. F11 is shortcut for full screen. Present it in Figma. And now we have a really nice working UI. Look at it. It's so wonderful. It works really, really well. In fact, if you want to change these buttons to be actually navigatable, I'm going to do that as well. Let's just give it one final change, because today we're done quite early. We'll just give it one final change. Make the smalls, when you click on the small button, it just goes to the next small screen. When you click on the medium button, it goes to the medium screen, and when you go to click on the large button, it stays exactly where it is. And we're just going to repeat that with all of our others. Go here, the large goes up here. We're making our buttons navigatable, and we're almost done with the UI design. Let me know what changes I should make to this before publishing, so your ideas can also be included in this UI design. Just type it out in the chat really, really quickly. I'll take any first suggestions that you might have. And with that, our final UI is complete. We'll just try to present it. Look at how it is. These buttons completely work. They're navigatable. You can just use them to change your sizes, and we have this brilliant, quirky, fun, nice, smooth UI design. I am so very proud of it. You can also make it. Follow along to this tutorial. It is going to be live in this on this channel in the 100 days of UI design playlist forever. We are going to share it with you guys. I'm just going to do it one last time, and then hold on, I'll just remove my camera from the picture. All right, and now my camera is gone. And with that, we have built ourselves a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful UI design that is so nice, so friendly, so usable. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. Build around with it, see what you can come up with, and share everything you make along with this challenge on social media with the hashtag 100 days of UI design with Veera. Tag me in the posts or wherever you share it, and don't forget to mention the hashtag 100 days of UI design, 100 days of UI with Veera. All right. And with that, we have completed our UI design. I'm going to share it now live in the chat so we can see how many people want to see this UI design. We'll copy the link. Anyone can view. And now I'm going to paste it in our top chat. Okay, this should be fun. We've got a couple of people watching. Let's see how many people join. We'll see all of you beautiful guys right here. We've got a couple of anonymous people. Hi anonymous, hello anonymous once again. This is one of the most quirkiest, nicest UI designs. I've had so much fun building it with you guys. The 100 days of UI design challenge is going on. This is day 6. I will be going live for another 94 days. That should be fun. And we also have a Discord server where you can join in. You can join in for the 100 days of UI design challenge. You can also find all of the images, all of the assets that we're using right here. You can find assets for every single video on this channel. And there is a masterclass happening really, really soon on how to make your own UI design portfolio and then publish it along with the magic code that makes everything go live on the internet. You can share that link with everyone. I hate to go today, you guys. This has been so much fun. We've covered large images, quirky images, fun UIs. We've covered this beautiful font, Reltka, League Spartan, and we've covered bringing things in the center and then making sure the left and right places are aligned. We did a lot of fun with Figma auto layouts. This was the ultimate Figma auto layout masterclass. So much fun, you guys. I really enjoyed this so much. But I'm going to be back tomorrow and right now and every single day in the Discord server in the 100 days of UI design challenge. Click the link down below to go to Discord, join the server, or just come back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 2:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time for the 100 days of UI design challenge live. Thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye.